Welcome back to Seeking Trades. I got another video about psychology today. So I wanted to go over a quote of somebody in a book, and it's a psychology book, and I highly recommend reading it. And if you have like Kindle or unlimited Kindle subscription for that little amount of money that it costs each month, you could read all kinds of different trading books, and I highly recommend that myself. That's what I do. You got to keep up on the craft that you wish to master, correct? I think we could all agree to that. Okay, so this guy says, I quote, "This is embarrassing. I was doing so well alternating between real and simulator this week." And then basically the results that he got were 4 out of 4 trades on Monday, 3 out of 5 on Tuesday, 1 green out of 1 on Wednesday, and then 2 for 2 on Thursday. And then he had 10 out of 12 for the week. Nice profits, feeling like he was on top of the world. And then it all fell apart. Then he started trading like a maniac. He finished with a huge loss, and then it was all blur from that point on. So after those 2 small losses, 10 minutes after the open, he was all shook up. And then his third trade, he made a hotkey mistake. He doubled up his position, and then rather exiting, he held it and then took a really big loss, a huge loss. Shortly after that, he made another hotkey mistake and took another big hit. And then it says here, "I was a psychological mess. Rather than walking away, I went on a rampage." And some of us can relate to that. Not necessarily just trading everything and anything, but you can just start getting into like the big blue chip stocks that you think are going to move. And so he did as well. I started trading stocks, not in play. JD, BABA, MU. I was a reckless and vengeful. Like he was doing revenge trading, I said to myself, excuse my language, fuck it, let's go. Literally out loud. And some of us have done that before, where we just say, you know what? I don't care. Screw it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get this back. I'm gonna swing huge for the fence. And if I hit one out, I'm going to get all my losses back for the day, and I'll feel better about myself. We all know that it doesn't work. Everybody knows it does not work. Okay. So then he goes on and he goes, "Fire away at my hotkeys like there was no tomorrow. 10:30 a.m. Eastern. I was 0 for 7 by noon. And then I had 13 trades that he made. He's just doing terrible. He's just going down, spiraling out of control. I made 20 trades total, not tickets, but trades. And only 2 of them were winners. 2. That could blow up an account like no other. That can knock you out of the game, all because you're having a bad day. Don't do it. You guys got to avoid this. This is where discipline comes in. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of piece here about discipline as well. So I'll say psychology and then discipline, and I'll have that in the title. Okay, so it says here he violated every single rule that had ever been known and religiously followed all week. And then he said he stopped caring about the A-plus setups, and he traded anything that looked marginally good. And since the SPY was on a roller coaster that day, he got destroyed by questionable entries, make-believe strategies, etc. So he kept on trading the same stocks over and over again, getting in, getting out. When it went against him, he just kept on trading like a fool. I mean, and that can happen to anybody. You could just lose it and absolutely just go for like your revenge trading, trying to get back your losses. So the losses, they just keep on going and going and going. He kept on spiraling down and down. Okay, the sad part about the whole triad was that he knew he was breaking his rules. He knew he was violating them, and he didn't give a damn about that. He just kept on trading on, and just it's almost like you become Jekyll and Hyde, and you just become the worst of yourself, and you just keep on making those mistakes like a savage, like you just don't care, like it's fake money, it's play account, it's not a big deal. Well, needless to say, a lot of people will stop trading after that, or they will continue to trade after that and create themselves basically a casino is what they're treating it as. They're gambling. They're going out there and they just don't care. So this guy goes on and on about talking about how he didn't care. He just went for it, kept on going. His emotions needed to be in check. They weren't. They came crumbling down. He just didn't. He just let it all go. The ending result of this, he ended up taking a break from trading for a little bit to like kind of regroup his psychology, to get himself back on track. And that's what you got to do sometimes, is you have to break away, take a break, maybe even close out your trading account for a little bit, pull the funds out, close it down, and go back to square one and just get back to the basics. Structure yourself, your rules, and you got to just almost hit the reset button. It's some people call it trader rehab. You got to put yourself back into the driver's seat, and if you're just sitting there spiraling out of control, you're only going to lose more money and damage yourself even further. It's not worth it. I don't want to see anybody do that to themselves. It happens every day and all the time. It's just what happens. And it says here at the end of his rant, basically, it says, "Thanks for reading, and remember, don't trade like a crackhead." And look, it's, I mean, as funny as it is, but it's serious. It's legit, and it could be, you just trade and trade and trade, and then you want to win so bad. But you guys, it's all about framework, fundamentals, discipline. And that's why I say, in seeking trades, learn. So you got to learn what to trade, how to trade, the discipline. You got to learn the framework, learn psychology. You got to learn all that stuff going forward. And then you have to plan. You have to plan out your trade. If your plan for the trading day is not to trade this SPY or the Qs, or if your plan's not to trade that stuff, or Tesla, or whatever case, whatever you're trading, if you're not planned to do that, you can make a plan and then do it because it might look good or whatever. But if you don't plan out your trade, and you just jump in hoping to scalp something, get in, and then it goes against you, and then you're like, well, maybe I'll add a few more shares. That's how you could just destroy yourself. That's how you can immediately lose. Stick to your plan, because remember, okay, you probably heard it before, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So after you do have your plan, then you execute your trade. And that's why I have it basically set up and labeled that way. Okay, so I did want to talk to you about discipline. And I'm going to go through some notes here that I have for discipline. I'm going to hopefully not make it too long. Okay, so as far as discipline goes, for the number one thing in discipline, there's about 10. The number one thing is you want to basically, you want to fund the compelling reasons to do something. So, meaning you want to commit yourself to that task or activity through to the very end. And that is very, very important. So if you have something, what you want to do is you want to set up your goals, you want to set up milestones, and you want to just make it achievable, attainable, and measurable, all that stuff. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to complete whatever it is that you're trying to be disciplined on. So have purpose. You want to have purpose. And having purpose usually is going to give you enough drive to be able to succeed, as long as your purpose is strong enough. If you don't have a strong enough purpose, you won't most likely succeed. You'll be distracted, you will get into a spiral, and you will procrastinate, and then you will not achieve or accomplish the things that you're trying to achieve or accomplish. Okay, more discipline. Okay, number 2, you got to count on yourself. You got to set up a plan of action, like we were saying before, like some kind of goal or plan. and you have to create those steps. You have to break it down into bite-sized mini milestones, if you would. Time blocks that are measurable, like I said before almost. And then these give you the control over the tasks and the projects that you want to take on. So this isn't just for trading, this is for basically everything and anything in life. But if you apply that to trading, it's gonna definitely help you out. So this is gonna help you avoid becoming overwhelmed, because when you're overwhelmed, like I said before, it leads to procrastination. Procrastination leads to stagnation, and then where there's stagnation, self-discipline cannot exist. So you need to definitely keep yourself on track and count on yourself. Number 3, okay, show up every day. You got to show up every day. I mean, you could take days off, but it just helps to take 20 minutes if we're talking about trading or whatever the case is that you're involved with, that you're trying to be disciplined in. Get involved. I mean, read a trading book of some sort, whether that be psychology, whether that be anything, and take 20 minutes. Take a half hour. And if you say you don't have time, make time. Show up every single day. Okay? Put in that work. Build up your life, action by action. And that's how you're going to achieve it. And be like, as far as the achievements go, each one of your achievements is a goal. So as far as possible, no one can keep this from you. So like anything that you keep, as far as the content goes. So what am I trying to get at? If you take action and you build up your life like action by action, and be content, if each one achieves its goal. So each little milestone, each little victory you have, that's a win. No one's going to be able to take that little win from you. So if your win was, I'm going to get up this morning and make my bed, that's a little action by action, right? So you wake up, you make your bed, you win. That's one little achievement that you've made for the whole rest of the day. Even if the rest of your day goes bad, you come back home, you made your bed, and you have a nice, well-made bed to go and get into. Okay, moving on. Number 4, practice voluntary hardship. And what this means is, like, if you don't have any trades that day, or if you want to practice not, kind of like being self-disciplined a little bit, this is what you're doing. It's reframing from like complaining. Don't cuss. If you get really mad at something, just refrain from that. Don't cuss. Don't get mad at it. If you want to take that trade, be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to take that trade. Turn it off. Turn off your computer. Walk away. Make sure you don't get on your app on your phone and for trading or whatever it is. And don't do it. Just cut it out. Be in control of yourself. That's all it means. Just practice voluntary hardship. Like today, I went outside. It's raining, and I didn't wear a jacket. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have no jacket and go out and just rough it a little bit. And so when you can have those things, your computer and all your stuff and all your technology and everything, it's nice to be like, okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate having the jacket for when I go out in the rain. Things like that. It's just basically forfeiting the things that you have going forward. It's, as far as trading goes, if there's no trades, don't take them. If you do have a great big trade, sometimes instead of taking that one trade, maybe and you're not having a good day, take a step back and say, you know what, I'm going to forfeit this trade. However, let's just play it out. Write it down on paper, your entry and the time of entry. And then, did it work out? And that's also a thing that you can do for back testing. But we can get into that with another video. Okay, practice dichotomy of control. So you have the power over your mind, and that's the one thing you have control of, is your psychology, your mind, right? So when you're trading, you have the ability to take a step back, take a breath, chill out, look at where you're at on your day. What's your mindset like? What's going on in your life? Are you okay to trade today? Are you okay to do whatever you're going to do in your life that day for whatever event or whatever task you're taking on? You have the power over your mind. Now, not outside events. You don't have the power over outside events. So all of a sudden news comes out and the market tanks and you're along. You don't have the power to make that thing go back up, do you? However, you can you can mitigate your risk, and you can take a step back, downsize, cut the loss, whatever you got to do to make sure that you're okay. Once you realize this, you're going to find strength. And this is all psychology bound. This is all discipline stuff. It's gonna be okay. So being bothered by the small things is terrible for discipline. I mean, that's the bottom line. So you can't let those little things bother you. It might be a big hit, whatever it is. Well, then maybe your size shouldn't have been that big. Maybe if it moves a couple points against you, you should have anticipated that that's possibly going to happen. So when this does happen, you have things that go against you or whatever, you have to apply that dichotomy of control. If you reframe yourself from what's within your control and what's out of your control, then you're going to start learning discipline a lot better. There's a lot you can control in your head, but there's way more outside of your head that you cannot control. And once you realize that, that's going to help you going forward. Number 6, never play the victim. Don't sit there and be like, oh, every single time, anything I do in the market, it just goes against me. Don't play that game, guys. I mean, everybody says the market's all set up for us to fail and etc. 9 out of 10 traders lose, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because, I mean, you got to take the world in consideration about who's playing the game, who's trading these. You're going against algos, you're going against people that just gamble and throw money like they don't care, and who knows? You got so many different personalities that are involved. The psychology and the discipline is what wins in the market, along with, learning how to trade and the strategies, etc., and then having a plan and executing your trades. Yes, that's true. But you need to eliminate self-pity. You cannot sit there and play the victim game as a trader. It doesn't work. You won't last. You will lose and end the game. So without ownership, discipline, meaningful progression, it becomes an impossible task. So you guys got to drop that. You got to get rid of that. You can't have that going forward. Number 7, practice delayed gratification. So that's a tough one. It's a good one, but it's a tough one. I mean, so I'm in the kind of middle of building a PC for trading, and I want a fast one. I want it to be a beast, to be honest. And I could buy it right now. I can go out and grab all the parts, order them up on Amazon or wherever I want them from, and just have them sent here tomorrow and buy it. But as of right now, it's 2021, the end of the year almost here, and I'm going to wait till next year. And I want to trade from now until the end, into next year, etc. And I want to actually earn that with trading profits. So I'm going to wait. And I'm going to delay my gratification because I know I could buy it all, and that's fine. That's easy. But I'd rather just wait. So I'm going to wait for what I want. I'm going to resist that temptation. I'm going to stick to my goal, which is often referred to as my self-discipline, right? Keeping my self-discipline. And then delaying my gratification. And it's often seen as a central part of this behavior. And so that's a good thing. If you could just be disciplined to say, nope, I'm going to put whatever I put off now it's going to potentially be something better for me later. So if say you're a long-term investor and you see that you get profits in one of your trades and you're really excited and you just want to take profits now, but you're pretty sure it's going to keep going up, give yourself an area where if it does go down against you, to dip out. But if you hold on to it a little longer, you should maybe make another little spot where you can take some more profit out later by waiting. I mean, those who wait reap those rewards, right? That's what they say. So that's kind of where that's at. So practice delayed gratification if you can. Number 8, ignore the naysayers. They're all over the place. You will find naysayers in anything and anywhere you go. So your purpose will attract naysayers. So if you're going to be a day trader and you're telling people you want to be a day trader and blah, 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 they're going to say, oh, 9 out of 10 people lose. You're not going to be able to make it. You're going to lose. You're this, you're that, you're other. Okay, well, if you get your psychology right and you get your discipline right, you can win. And if you're still having struggles there, it's real simple. If you need to learn this game and you're trying to still find a strategy or whatever the case is, take small share size. Use a platform that doesn't take fees or doesn't take commissions. Trade on Thinkorswim. Unless you're, to do something that doesn't take you, I mean, maybe even Robinhood, I don't know. I don't use Robinhood, but take out the commissions, take out the stress of too big of size, only take 10 shares, take 15 shares. So guess what? If a stock goes against you about a point or two, you're not freaking out because Tesla, you took 10 shares or you took 5 shares or 2 shares of Tesla and then it went against you 10 points. You're only down a couple dollars, $15, $20. All I'm saying, all I'm getting at is you're going to have naysayers that always go against you. So they're going to criticize you. They're going to object you. And whether that be in trading or in life or anything that you want to take on, it's always going to happen. You're always going to attract them. And naysayers just naysay because they want to naysay. That's just what they do. They're cynical, and that's just the way it is. They'll do anything to oppose you. They might love you. They might be your family. They might be your friends, and they're just trying to look out for you, right? But you also gotta look at their situations. Some of them might be successful. Some of them might not be so successful. And they want to kind of keep you down there because if you become successful, they'll think you'll change. And then there's a whole nother little dynamic on that. But they might be afraid of your progress. There's all kinds of things that they could be naysayers for. But their opinions are bad for your psychology and for your discipline, your self-discipline. So I got number 9 here. It's if you want to be successful in anything, not just trading, but anything in life, you need to find wise people to emulate. It's hands down the most important thing you try to do. So you need to identify role models, and you need to find out who they are. Okay? And I got some very good questions if you want to grab a piece of paper and a pen and write this down. So who is doing this right now? Who's doing whatever you're looking for, whatever you're looking to do? Who's doing it? You need to find that person, and then, who has successfully achieved this goal. So you need to find out the group of people that have successfully achieved whatever you're trying to attain, whether that be day trading, swing trading, options trading, building a business, whatever the case is that you're going after, and whatever your goal is that you're trying to achieve. Who has successfully mastered this habit? Again, these are the questions you're trying to ask. Who has successfully made this change? And then, who has made the necessary self-discipline? Who has made that necessary self-discipline in this area? So who you got to find those people. You got to find that what they've done there. And then what can I learn from this person that can help me along my journey? What can you learn? And then you write out a list of things that you're trying to learn, whether that be nuggets on, I don't know, how to day trade and prep your day. How do you go about finding the stocks that you want to trade? What is their process? What's their framework? What's their program? This is very important. And then whether that be if you're trying to start a business, what was the process of starting a business? What direction how much capital did they use? Did they get funding, etc.? And then you got to ask these people how they discipline themselves. Again, what was their process? What did they do? Did they just go through creating goals, milestones, and getting very granular on their achievement of how to break it down step by step? What did they do? And then how did they follow through with the specific actions that they got them their desired outcome? Those are the things you want to ask. You need to ask those questions. It's all about not just asking questions, but asking good questions to find out great answers that's going to help you and direct you into where you want to be. Then you're going to use their experience to help you along your own personal journey. This is all going to be for your information to help you along the way. And then basically number 10 is going to be honestly review your day. This is kind of getting back into where I was going to do a trading journal thing, but honestly, it's kind of just comes back to its self-reflection and awareness. But basically, it's self-awareness is going to be your number one. Take a look at yourself for your day. And then self-determination. It's going to represent it, or it's going to reap its own rewards. The more that you succeed by kind of evaluating yourself. So giving yourself like an end of the day eval, so to speak. So one of the best ways to become more disciplined is to scrutinize yourself and find yourself, seeking out your weak spots. You got to try to be brutally honest to connect with your subconscious. You do. I mean, it's something that you don't think about much, but it's going to benefit you. Giving yourself an end of the day evaluation will definitely help or allow you to become more self-aware through every step of your day, because you're going to actually gather information to formulate and articulate constructive answers. So to basically to all the questions. So let's just come up with a few questions. Let's say you want to ask yourself, what did I do well today? And you're going to be like, oh, well, I got up and I made my bed, I cleaned my room, and I made sure the house was picked up, and then I went out to the gym today and got a great workout in. I counted all my calories, and I tracked, I was eating very well, superfoods, good brain food, drank a lot of water, and you just go down your list, and you're just, ate well today, et cetera, et cetera. And then you want to find out where you want to ask yourself the other question of, where were my discipline / self-control tested? I was day trading today, and I was trading XYZ stock. It was 10 a.m. and it really tested me because I just wanted to take I wanted to take the trade, but I didn't really have a plan for it, but it looked like it was moving, and I wanted to just jump in. You had a FOMO situation, fear of missing out, and yeah, it really tested you and your self-control and your discipline. But because you have a little note on your wall right there, or whatever, you have a poster that says learn, plan, execute, trade, or be disciplined, don't be foolish, or whatever the case. What was it? planned, what was it? Planned trades, something to do with, what was it? I was trying to think about something that I used to be able to say. It was basically if you planned something and you messed up, it weighs ounces. But then if you didn't plan it and made a huge big mistake and you made a big regret, then it weighs tons. Yeah, something of that sort. Anyhow, moving on. So then the next question you want to ask yourself is, where did I do good? And then you want to ask yourself, what did I do bad? And then why did this occur? And how can I improve? And no matter what, like research shows, forgiving yourself, and it helps prevent giving up. And it prevents from giving or from continuing to put things off. So if you mess up or if you get setbacks and stuff like that in your discipline, it's okay. We're human. We're biological, and so we make mistakes. We're not computers. Even though they say to trade like a computer, hey, guess what? We're not. We're emotional. We're beings. We're human beings. So don't beat yourself up. Don't. And recognize it. Forgive yourself. And have some self-compassion. And it's been proven. Its studies have shown. If you just go, you know what? I messed up. It is what it is. I'm going to go forward and I'm going to do better next time. And then all you have to do better next time is recognize that and draw out a plan it, stay with it, stick to your rules, and just keep to the plan. And if you think you're going to go and try something big, and go small size if you're trading, and go small size and just be, I shouldn't be doing this, but okay, I'll take a couple shares just to see if it would have worked out. And then if it does, great. You know what? You got lucky. Maybe it buys you a coffee. Hopefully you don't practice that type of behavior or embrace it, because it's just totally worthless and it's going to be against you. So kind of going towards the end of all this, don't just be critical of yourself. You need to reflect on what you did well so you could repeat it tomorrow and the next day and the following week, etc., etc. You need to be grateful for the good that happened today. Celebrate those little wins, those little victories, and the ones that are kind of against you, learn from it and move on. You're either going to win, lose, or learn, but you don't have to lose. You can either win or learn. And that's a very important point going forward. It's all about discipline. It's all about the psychology in everything and anything. Everything and anything is all based around our ideas, our thoughts, and this little mini storm that's in our head. You can't control what's outside of it, but you can control what's in your mind. And you got to be mindful of that. You got to be mindful of yourself and your place when you're going into the trading markets and you're going into the day. I hope that helps. If you guys have any comments, questions, or anything like that, let me know. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification for anything else I got coming out. I'm trying to do my best to go live, to day trade live, but for some reason I've just had a lot of issues with this computer. That's why I wanted to build another PC going forward. And yeah, please like the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.